Legend has it that whoever gained the approval of the divine sword would obtain infinite power and become the new king, but for 300 years, no one could even get close to it. When the king heard of this, he immediately held a grand competition. Whoever could pull out the sword would not only receive a reward of $1 billion, but also marry the princess. Upon hearing this, crowds rushed to the competition grounds, yet most were knocked back the moment they tried to approach the sword. Then, a mage, convinced he was the chosen one, stepped forward to challenge it. He struggled past the sword's barrier, managing 2 steps forward, but could go no further. Desperate, he drank a potion and forced his way onto the 3rd step, but the sword sensed his deceit and summoned a divine dragon, blasting him away as punishment. The spectators trembled in fear. That was when a wealthy young lord, enticed by the princess's beauty, decided to pull the sword and claim her as his bride. With arrogant confidence, he climbed the steps, easily reaching the 3rd tier, but then the sword's pressure bore down on him. Just as he was about to fail, his butler intervened, channeling a surge of energy into him, pushing him onto the 5th step. The sword, as if provoked, unleashed an even greater force. The butler then ordered all the servants to lend their life energy to the young lord, barely propelling him onto the 6th step. But the sword erupted with power, hurling him back in defeat. But the king was pleased and declared he would wed the princess to the nobleman. The princess, however, was furious, refusing to accept her fate. She stormed onto the platform, determined to wield the sword's power and change her destiny. But the sword's might was overwhelming. She barely made it to the 3rd step before collapsing. The young lord sneered, telling her to surrender and accept her place. Yet the princess refused. Drawing her own blade in defiance, she pushed forward, reaching the 5th step, but could go no further. Just as despair took hold, a lone man moved by her resolve stepped forward to help. The young lord scoffed at the beggar's audacity, and even the princess doubted him, but the man ignored them, striding effortlessly past the crowd's stunned gazes, until he stood beside the princess. The young lord, enraged, accused him of cheating, but the man paid no mind. He walked on step by step, until he stood before the divine sword. Suddenly, the sword summoned the divine dragon again. The crowd braced for the man's punishment, but instead, the dragon vanished into thin air. The man climbed the final step, the 10th, and the sword acknowledged him as its true master. The young lord, unwilling to accept defeat, ordered his men to seize the sword by force, but the man, now wielding its power, effortlessly defeated them. Then, in a final act, he handed the sword to the princess, breaking her chains and changing her fate forever.